What military tactics were used in the Kerensky Offensive? Have you ever wondered how military strategies can shape the course of history? The Kerensky Offensive, launched in July 1917, is a perfect example. This operation was the last major Russian military effort in World War I. It was initiated by the Russian Provisional Government under Alexander Kerensky. The aim was to fulfill commitments to allies and boost morale during a time of political chaos. The offensive primarily targeted the Austro-Hungarian forces on the southwestern front. Russian leaders believed these forces were weakened after previous successes. The main attack focused on a narrow zone about 48 kilometers wide. This area was seen as the key to breaking through enemy lines and capturing strategic locations like Lemberg, now known as Lviv, in Galicia. One of the first tactics used was a massive artillery bombardment. Over 1,300 heavy guns were deployed to weaken enemy defenses. This bombardment aimed to disrupt the Austro-Hungarian response to the infantry assault that would follow. After the artillery barrage, infantry units from the Russian 7th and 11th Armies launched their attacks. The 11th Army's Czechoslovak Brigade notably captured the town of Zborov. Further south, General Kornilov's 8th Army achieved a breakthrough. They pushed back the Austrian 3rd Army, creating a 30-kilometer-wide breach and capturing towns like Kalisz and Galek. To support the main offensive, secondary attacks were launched by other Russian fronts, including the Western, Northern, and Romanian fronts. However, most of these secondary attacks were not very successful, with only minor gains in the Romanian theater. Leadership played a significant role in this offensive. Kerensky actively inspired troops by visiting frontline positions and giving motivational speeches. In one memorable instance, when a regiment hesitated to advance, Kerensky stood in the trench and declared he would fight alone if necessary. This bold move spurred the soldiers to take action. Despite some initial successes, the offensive quickly faltered. Widespread disobedience and desertions plagued the Russian army. Poor coordination and the political instability following the February Revolution severely undermined the army's discipline. The offensive resulted in heavy casualties and weakened the Russian military position even further. From a socialist viewpoint, the Kerensky Offensive represented an attempt by a provisional bourgeois government to continue an increasingly unpopular war. The failure of this offensive highlighted the disconnect between the ruling authorities and the masses. This disconnect intensified revolutionary sentiments, paving the way for the Bolshevik takeover and Russia's withdrawal from the war. In summary, the Kerensky Offensive employed concentrated artillery bombardment, focused infantry assaults, and secondary supporting attacks. Leadership efforts aimed to boost morale but were undermined by low troop morale and political turmoil. Ultimately, this military operation hastened the collapse of the provisional government and intensified revolutionary momentum in Russia.